And I feel like it's R&B, it's pop, it's got rap on it. You can't, to me, if you're a producer, you need to hear those kind of things. Expand your palette, because I don't want to be a trap producer, just a trap producer or R&B producer. I want to do pop. I want to do dance hall. So stuff like that is like, wow. That was the first time I was like, okay, you really could do whatever.
1, 2, yeah. Come on. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes, sir, you are tuned in. This is for the SB1200, ASR 10s and NPC heroes. This is for the crate digging, loop getting, sound manipulators, the Fruity Loop reasoning machine innovators that pump the bass and frequently freak the kick in a stand till it slaps in your speakers. The sound providers that make sure the song is tight. Shout out to the producers, beats grinding live. Shout out to the producers, beats grinding live.
Welcome to the Beats Grinding Life podcast with your host, Siren, a weekly interview podcast with inspiring music producers, where every week you will learn from a different music producer how to potentially take your music career to the next level.
What's up, Beat Grinders? This is another episode of Beats Grinding Life, and today you're rocking with me, Siren, and our special guest, Triza. Triza is a Virginia native that now resides in Atlanta, Georgia. He's a multi-genre producer and DJ that got his first taste in the industry as an intern for Ludacris' Disturbing the Peace label. Since that time, he has made a name for himself working with artists such as Chris Brown, Justin Bieber, Rico Love, Sean Kingston, Brian Michael Cox, and many, many more. And right now, you can check Triza out every Friday on the Unquantized podcast that he co-hosts with past Beats Grinding Life guest Sound Oracle on Instagram Live at 4 p.m. Eastern. Yo, what up, Triza? How you doing, bro?
If I had an air horn, I'd be like,
I know we need to get that. I'm gonna leave that to y'all though. That's the Unquantized specialty. But I love that.
Gotta set it right, man.
For sure, man. For sure. Well, man, I just read a brief intro about you, man. If you can, expand for the listeners, man, so they can learn a little more about you, man.
Triza, aka Kid Cudi, aka Luke Cage, aka Sample Pacquiao. I got more, some better ones. I'm from this place called Halifax, Virginia. Really small town. I started producing when I was like, 14, maybe. Dope. And then in the industry, man, just trying to stick with it, man. Out here grinding.
Okay.
DJ, and then do a podcast with my brother, Sound Oracle. If y'all know who he is, then please go follow him. And yeah, man, we're trying to help the producer community, man, spread the message, and just help everybody make dope sounds. Make dope podcasts.
Awesome, man. Awesome, man. You're definitely very busy, man. I mean, you got a lot of things going, man, but at the same time, man, you're excelling in each field, man, and I admire that. Definitely, man. And what I didn't mention is your sound kits that you're also doing, man. So yeah, man, you're killing it everywhere, man. Well, I aspire to be like you, man. No doubt, man. Okay, well, you touched up a little bit on you starting your production career when you're 14 years old, man. Can you expand on that a little bit more? How did you get into music production? What made you want to start?
Well, I say 14, but it's probably before that. So it's crazy. He's my brother now. So my best friend growing up ends up marrying my stepsister. So he's my brother now.
Right.
But we DJed together. He's been DJing since he was like 4 years old. So he taught me how to DJ. I had an uncle that was a DJ. So I've been kind of just into music. And then I believe it was like Fruity Loops 2 or 3.
Damn.
We got. So yeah, we were just messing around. And it was just fun for us. We're in the middle of nowhere, Virginia. Right. So this was like a hobby. We couldn't go, play basketball because we didn't really have no courts out there. You play gravel.
Plus in Virginia, there ain't nothing to do but cooks, right?
Exactly. You can't do no crossover on no gravel. You know what I'm saying? The ball shooting all over the place.
Right.
I had to make some beats. So yeah, we would sit on Fruity Loops all day, man. And I say when I was about 14 is when stuff start kind of, I'm like, oh, this could actually be a job.
Nice. Okay. That's what's up, man. And then from there, you moved on down to Atlanta, right?
Oh, well,
a little later on.
14. Well, when I was in high school, I was working with this group called SAS. They were signed to Dipset.
Okay.
I had did stuff with the girl. I don't know if you remember that song, Chicken Noodle Soup.
It sounds familiar.
Chicken Noodle Soup with a soda on the side.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Girl, my brother had did a record with them. And so I'm in high school when all this is happening. So I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like, I'm getting records with people. I moved to North Carolina for about 2 years. Mm-hmm. Had a regular job, just working, just, trying to figure it out. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to go to Atlanta and figure it out.
Dope.
Packed everything I had. I had like $200. And I had got accepted to Clark Atlanta. So I knew if I got to Atlanta, if all else fails, I could just go to Clark Atlanta for the first year. At least have someone to stay for a year. Right. So I just left on my birthday. I got to Atlanta August 8th. Came to Atlanta. 2 weeks in, I ran into this guy that worked at Disturbing the Peace. And I got an internship.
Wow. Your story almost sounds, it sounds very similar to your man, Sound Oracle. Just on a limb, just went and just moved down to Atlanta. That's what's up. Okay, man. Well, you said you started off with Fruity Loops. What was the first piece of equipment that you personally owned yourself? Was it that Fruity Loops?
Yeah. Well, actually, did I own myself? Because that was even my cousin's computer. It was a old Dell with the cow. With the cow on it.
Oh, yeah. That was Gateway, yeah.
So old Gateway, we used to have to put like an ice tray on it to keep it cool because it would overheat. Right. And then we had like Fruity Loop demo, so you had to make all the beat at once. Right. There wasn't no saving. No saving, yep. Yeah, it's just, get the ideas out. But we didn't know no different, you know what I mean? Right. So that was the first. And I think my big piece of equipment was probably like a motif.
Okay. That's what's up. Nice. All right, man. Well, when you came up, man, and when you were making beats on Fruity Loops 2 or 3, who were some of the producers that inspired you?
Oh, man. Well, I'm from Virginia, man. So
y'all got tons of producers.
Pharrell was a huge. I got to meet him when I was a kid too, and that was another one of the things where I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm doing this." Nice. You know what I mean? My uncle lives in Virginia Beach. I grew up near Richmond, but my uncle lived in like Virginia Beach, so I would go spend the summers out there, and I got to run into Pharrell. Nice. Super. I was inspired after that, so I was sold. I'm like, all right, I'm making beats the rest of my life. Tim, of course. Tim, super big influence. Knots, Missy. A lot of the Virginia sound was really big on me. Teddy Riley.
Man, that's what's up, man. And all those producers are different. They don't sound like anyone else. They all have their own sound, their own unique sound. Why do you think that is? Somebody was telling me because in the DMV you guys have go-go, which is the genre of music that's only primarily in the DMV area. Do you think that has some effect?
I think Virginia is kind of in the middle of. It's not the South, but it is the South. Right. A lot of people from New York who lived in Virginia. I know a lot of people from the West Coast. It's a big military hub, so I feel like you kind of get a little bit of everybody in there. Radio is like really diverse. Like when I came to Atlanta, I still hate Atlanta radio because it's all Future, Gucci, that's Virginia radio. They playing old school. They gonna play go-go. They gonna play this. So I think growing up hearing so much diverse stuff, it gives you kind of a texture to your music.
Okay, nice. That's what's up, man. All right, man. Well, I don't know about you, man, but I'm having a good time with this interview. But man, that's not what Beats Grinding Life is about, man. We got to talk about the dark side, man. We got to talk about the failures, the setbacks, and I hate to drag you through this, but we got to do it, man. So
hey, I enjoy all the setbacks.
Cool. Hey, I love hearing that. I love hearing that, man, because you can definitely learn from the setbacks, man. Okay, man. Well, I want you to tell me, man, what is a major setback or failure that you've had in your career that you've been able to bounce back from?
I'd say probably one of the biggest ones. I had got hired to work on this project, and for this girl, she was a Miss Canada, and they wanted to be her artist. So I was in Colorado for like 2 months working on this girl. So I was in the woods, away from my phone, all of this stuff. So I get back to LA, and my phone is like, my Twitter's going crazy, my phone's going on. I'm like, yo, what the hell is going on? So I had did this record with Sean Kingston and Bieber, and it's blowing my phone up. So I'm like, oh, I'm rich. I'm on. That's the immediate thought. I'm running around Hollywood Boulevard like I'm on. Right. And it was around the time when Sean Kingston got in that accident. So he messed up when they were trying to roll out the record. He get in an accident and it stopped everything.
Right.
So the I'm thinking it's going to propel me, take me to another level.
Right.
It doesn't, I think. And so it goes from like everybody calling my phone. I was getting like 200 calls a day.
Damn.
Of people on me, because it's a big, and I had no idea how it happened, Right. And then from that to nobody wanted to talk after that. After the record kind of slowed down a little bit, nobody wanted to talk, got real quiet. So I had to grind, man. I had to keep figuring it out.
Right. Right.
As good as your last hit. They don't really care. Like I got records that just came out. I'm not even thinking about them because in a month nobody's gonna care. Which got coming up, that's what they're worried about. So that's the way I look at it now. It taught me not to get so wrapped up in what something could be. And just keep working, keep your head down, keep working.
Dope.
I was devastated, bro. I thought I was about to be rich. I was picking out cars. Like, oh yeah, I'm about to get this joint.
Well, that's cool, man. That's cool. It prepared your mindset, because now, like you said, the mindset that you have is a great one to have. Just keep your head down, keep working, and keep focusing and thinking on the next thing instead of staying caught up in the moment. Exactly. So okay, that's what's up, man. Well, thanks for sharing that. I appreciate that. All right, man. Well, we're going to go to the other side of this, man. I took you through the dark side, man. Now we got to get into the light, man. What's the best moment in your career that you've had thus far?
I said that moment right before I figured out that record wasn't going to do great. It was great. When I was getting those calls, I was enjoying it, though.
Right.
I was in LA. I was getting wined and dined, people here, you know what I mean? Right. They take me to the nicest places, so I enjoyed that. And it was just cool, man, I dreamed about being a producer. I didn't really think there was a job. I'm a little bit older than, I feel like I'm about to be 30. So, I'm a little bit older. I'm in that software age and I'm in the hardware age,
right.
I'm in the cusp between everything. And producing wasn't like a job like it is now. So I thought I was crazy. So the fact that I got a record with one of the biggest pop stars ever, man, I'm always happy about it, man. Nice.
That's what's up, man. That's weird how you go from big man on campus to nobody wants to talk to you in just moments like that, But okay. Well, that's what's up, man. All right, man. Well, here on Beats Grinding Life, man, we are all trying to strive for greatness. I know that you're trying to strive for greatness, even though you're closer to greatness than a lot of us are right now. But man, we want to know, what do you do in a typical day? How do you set your day up so that way we can model our day after yours and strive for greatness just like you?
Well, I say my day always starts the night before. So always the night before, I plan out what I'm going to do. Well, okay, I'll say this. Sundays, I map out my week. I try to pick the 15 most important things that I need to get done in a week. And then I try to organize them by what is the most important.
Okay.
It's a lot. It took me a long time. I really just started getting really disciplined on this maybe the past year. But it helped me tremendously because now I know exactly. I don't have a manager. I don't have a boss. So everything's dependent on me. It's really, if you get it done, you get it done. If you don't, it doesn't get done.
Right.
So I have to be very organized, very strategic. So that I map out what's the most important, and I try to knock out the super hard, important stuff out the way. And then by the end of the week, I'm down to the easy stuff, and I can go to the club and drink Jameson and turn up.
That's what's up. Okay.
I map out, I try to write down what I'm doing, what I want at, and what I failed at every day. So that way you kind of build up a catalog. You kind of know, like, oh, this messed up before.
Right.
All right, let me like this. Let me avoid this. So yeah, that's every day.
Dope.
I make beats first thing in the morning. I practice DJing for about an hour every day. And then after that, it depends. I run another business, so I'm in there in meetings, on the phone with Oracle, talking business plans, and making sounds.
Okay. So I gotta ask you, because I know that right now your sound kits are popping. Why don't you let us know some of your sound kits and where we can get them from first off?
I just dropped a kit called Subculture. It's on the producerkit.com. I got kits with Sound Oracle, who's my brother, my mentor. He kind of Sound Oracle introduced me to the sound game. He taught me a lot of things. He taught me how to market and all this stuff. So big shout out to him. But yeah, me and him got kids together. And it's really, I just made it to be a hub for, eventually I'm going to start bringing on kits with other producers. I'm already talking with Ayo and Keys, who I did the new Chris Brown record with.
Nice.
And they did a bunch of the Bryson Tiller stuff, kit together. Working with some dope people, man. My boy Diego Ave, who did All Eyes on Me with Jeremiah Game with Scott Storch. He did with Ross and Chris Brown. We have kits together. So I'm just trying to take all my friends who make really dope stuff and then put them together. We make a bunch of kits. That's
what's up, man. Well, the reason why I asked that is because I want to know how much time do you spend making sounds and how much time do you spend making beats, or are you creating the sounds while you're making beats, or how does that work?
For me, well, it depends. I just did 808s. 808s is one of them things you just kind of got to sit and do. So most of the time, and my kit is 25 808s. I made 80 to get to those 25. I'm sitting there all day just making 808s. But normally, if it's like loops or something, I just make beats and then take apart the beat. I break it down and then I take those little pieces and I might add stuff to it, color it up a little bit. Right. But it all with just producing music, vibing out. Okay, that's what's up, man. Well, Beat Grinders, I hope you guys are listening because Triza's definitely dropping some dimes on here. Yes, Salt Bayer, sprinkling. Man, what I got from that, and I'm gonna go back around to when you started, man, was prioritizing your week. You know, and how important that is. I know it's all about the grind. We all, we talk about working, but one thing that we got to do is we got to stop and make that pit stop. Without taking that pit stop and refueling up, we can't win the race. So, and prioritizing your week and getting organized. That's another thing. So thank you for that, man. I appreciate that. Please, man. If y'all don't do anything, be organized. This is the music business, and I feel like people forget about the business part. Right. Okay, that's what's up. Oh, and another thing, ritual. You said every Sunday too, right? Yeah, every Sunday I map out my week, so nice. I know what my week is going to be. Generally, I try to do as much as possible because a lot of times, I'm DJing, I'm running around, stuff doesn't go according, but I have an idea of what's important, what's the main things I need to tackle, and I knock those out. Awesome, man. That's what's up. Okay. Well, thank you for that, man. Appreciate that. All right, man. Well, this next portion of the interview I like to call In the Studio. We definitely want to be in the studio with you, making beats, creating 808s, but we can't do that right now because you're in Atlanta and I'm here in Portland. But the next best thing is this portion of the interview that we call In the Studio. So you ready? Yes, sir. All right, man. So what do you do when you first start crafting beats? Do you have a set ritual? Is there anything that you do? Listen to music, smoke? Is there anything? Or start with the drums? I'm more of a melody first guy. Okay. The chords dictate everything. Especially, I used to be drums first, and I felt like when I start giving stuff to writers, my stuff would be too busy. I'm not thinking about them first. Right. So then I switched to melody first, and it got a lot better. I feel like I got more songs written to, start getting more placements. I'm a melody first guy. Okay. That's what's up. All right, man. I was gonna say every once in a while I get stuck, man. I might throw a loop in there and then play melody on top of the loop, and then everything else. Oh, that's a great tip right there. Thank you, man. All right, man. Yeah. Well, what's a not so secret weapon that you got in the studio? Something that everybody may not know, but you're willing to share. Well, it's not so secret. I would say, get some laser lights off Amazon, man. You got to have your vibe right. Nice. If you ever look at the big studios, they always got it really vibey, always real dark, smoking, candle. You got to get the vibe right. So I would say that's the biggest thing. Get you some lasers. They like $20 off Amazon. Right. So like club, you know what I mean? Get your little send you in there. You're going to make all the beats in the world. You got to get the ambiance right. That's what's up, man. Okay, man. What's all in your studio? What equipment or software are you using right now to make beats? What's all in your toolbox? Right now I'm using Ableton, the newest Ableton. I use and I have a Roland Gaia, which I really don't even use it for the sounds. I just use it as a MIDI keyboard, which is kind of having that keyboard and not actually using the sounds from it. But hey, I've been lazy, man. You know, I mean,
is it the feel of the keys? I mean, or is it just your?
To be honest, the reason why I got that keyboard is because I seen Polo with one, and I seen Danger, who's one of my favorite producers, with one. I was like, oh, if Danger got it, it's something crazy in there.
Right.
So I that way. You know, I was in the market. I love it. I love the pitch wheel. I like how Roland goes across instead of, you know, the wheel one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that.
I don't actually. I don't know. But are you talking about as opposed to the motif, whereas the motif has the wheel? Okay.
Roland has like a little joystick kind of joint.
Oh, I do know. Okay. Mm-hmm.
I like that, and I like the little D-beam sometimes. Okay. So I'll use it for that reason. But it's just cool. It looks cool. That's my main reason.
Okay, that's what's up, man. Anything else you got up in there?
Mainly, that's it. I got turntables, DDJ, SX, and then I got some Technique 1200s.
Dope.
That's about it. As far as production, that's it, man.
Okay.
Able to push to, and a bunch of plugins and sounds.
All you need is that push to, huh? I know you're big on push on Ableton.
Oh, I love it. And you know, I done used everything.
Dope.
So I'm Ableton fan.
Okay. I talked to Smitty Boy yesterday, and he said he converted over to push to, and I was just talking to him how it just seems like everybody is making that move right now. It's crazy.
It's the most flexible. You can do the most stuff. If you got somebody like me who I know Ableton, but I know enough to get around.
Right.
And then you got like Oracle who knows Ableton and can make his talk and do crazy shit. Right. And you know, like, so the range that you could do stuff is like incredible. So that's why I love it.
Okay. Each day I'm considering it more and more. The more I talk to you producers, because it seems like everybody I have on this show has converted and trying to convert me. So. Okay, well, Beat Grinders, if there's anything that perked your interest that Triza mentioned that's in his studio, you can definitely go on the website under Triza show notes and check the links out that I'll have provided on there. So, all right, man. All right, man. Well, this portion of the interview I like to call In the Mix. It's rapid fire, so we're going to speed things up a little bit. But if you need to take your time, please do. I want the answers to be well thought out.
I've been, you know, my goal is to get on at midnight. Have you ever seen that show? On Central? Like a talk show. This is what I've been waiting for, man. This is practice right now.
Okay. All right, for sure, man. All right, man. What do you prefer, using samples or making beats without samples?
Making beats without samples, because Clarence is a bitch.
Okay. What's your opinion on selling and leasing beats online?
It's got to be a standard. Because people selling beats for $10 can't be. Y'all got to do better than that. You can't fix that. You can't fix none of your equipment with $10. So stop selling beats for $10.
Right. That's what's up. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna go back, man. You said Clarence Samples is a bitch. Have you had an experience with that?
Yeah, I did a song with Rico Love and Action Bronson, man. I was really hype about it, and did not get cleared.
Oh, so it never saw the light of day?
Never saw the light of day. We did interviews talking about it. I was like, yes, this is going to be crazy.
Right.
Never came out. And it was just a lot of stuff. I had broke a hard drive, and that sample was on there. So it took me 3 days to figure out what I sampled because I couldn't pull the original session.
Right.
So then I finally figured it out, and then they don't clear. So it was just a big thing. So
man.
If I can avoid samples, I try to, but sometimes you can't get around it. I love the sound of it, the texture.
Right. Okay. All right, man. Well, what's a plugin that you feel like every producer should have in their arsenal?
Waves L2.
Okay. Do you have a book that you think every producer should read?
Oh, man, I got so many.
You can name as many as you want.
Tools of Titan, Tim Ferriss.
Nice.
4-Hour Chef, Tim Ferriss. Work Week, Tim Ferriss is really good. Ask Gary Vee is great. The newest book I just read, the Charlemagne book, Black Privilege, which is really about just making your career and being your own self, not really about black privilege.
Right.
I mean, it is, but it isn't. And 6 Months of Six Figures, Peter Booth. Good book.
I haven't heard of that one. Okay. That's what's up, man.
And if you notice, I named all business books to help produce.
That's
because I feel like most people don't know. They know the business part, but they don't.
Right.
And it took me a long time to learn that, okay, I really need to buckle down and learn this business stuff. And then now stuff is kind of, it's progressing because of it.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, definitely. being a producer is definitely being an entrepreneur. You're definitely in business for yourself,
right.
you know. So that's what's up, man. I mean, I'm very familiar with Tim Ferriss, and you named a few of his books. And I understand how the 4-Hour Chef could play a major role as far as business and developing yourself and your skills. But can you explain to the listeners how you think that might help?
Well, a lot of it, like in the 4-hour, basically he talks about breaking stuff down. And part of it is delegating stuff that you're not necessarily great at to other people. And just understanding how to make a big project a smaller one. So I feel like most people, when they make beats, they're trying to do too many things. I think if you focus on what your goal is, who your brand's going to be, what you're trying to reach, those are the bigger goals. And to delegate just all the random stuff that you don't want to do, because you need to focus your time on actually producing or making the best product or whatever it is. So I think Tim Ferriss stuff really helps. That's what I get from it. Okay, that's a little more than I thought. You know, I mean, so I got to read the book. I thought it was more about mastering your craft, but I mean, it is, but like especially in like 4-Hour Work Week, he talks about like delegating and getting other people stuff, saving your time, so you can master your craft. Because if you're busy trying to do every little piece of it, you're gonna get caught up in it. Right. You need to focus on. Somebody told me the other day that you need to work on your business and not in your business, and I thought that was really dope. You know what I mean? Okay, that's what's up. That's a Twitter quote right there. Okay. Like quote pictures with the little text over top of me. You know what I mean? Man, I think that's coming. Okay, man. Well, what's the internet resource that you use that you think every producer could benefit from? And that's a website or a mobile app. I've really been big on Splice. I've been on Splice probably since the very beginning. And they didn't have the sound part. When they had the sessions, that's what I love it, is actually sharing sessions and being able to update stuff with people in LA, and it's kind of seamless. Okay. So yeah, that's been a really big part. Not even the sound thing. I got plenty of sounds. Oracle's one of my brothers with every sound of like, you know, so I don't need the sounds. But that part, I love it. Okay, well, explain Splice a little more, because I'm unfamiliar with it. Okay, Splice is like Netflix for sounds, almost. So originally, it started off kind of where basically they would upload sessions. So say you were trying to learn how to do EDM. You could Tiesto EDM record, his sessions, so you could see his tracks, what he's putting on his compressor. You could see all this stuff. So that's what made me interested, because I've been trying to make the journey of being an R&B rap producer to more of the EDM stuff, the future-based stuff. Right. And so I didn't understand. And, you know, some stuff people will tell you, but you don't understand until you see it. So this, I can see people's sessions. So I'm like, oh, this is crazy, you know? And then introduce the sounds. Like, if you pay a fee monthly, you get a certain amount of sounds that you can download. Wow, Splice. So this is a website? Yeah, Splice. It's super dope. Check it out. Yeah, I will. I'm going to do that as soon as I get off. Yeah, I don't get nothing from it, but it's dope. If they want to endorse me, if they want to sell the kit, hey, let me know. We here. Yeah, right. Okay. All right, man. Well, we just took off all the faces on Mount Rushmore. Those presidents are no longer up there. They decided to put producers up there. And, man, for some reason, they made you in charge of putting 4 producers up there. Who are they going to be? Putting me in charge is a good choice. Right, that is a good choice. Pharrell, gotta be it there. He's number 1, I say. I put Tim up there. I'm gonna throw a curveball. I don't think most people say Max Martin. You have to throw him in there. Like, what has he done? Every Backstreet Boy, Britney Spears, every pop song that you probably could think of is probably a Max Martin record. Okay. And he's the guy who taught Dr. Luke. Really? And Luke went on that crazy run of pop. So yeah, Max Martin to me is one of the greats. Oh, and the last one, I have to go maybe Teddy Riley, just because, you know, Virginia, the sound. I had to go there. Man, that's a great list right there. Max Martin is from where? I believe he's from Sweden or Amsterdam. He's from overseas, but please, man, come up. Look. I was about to say, did he just make this all Virginia? Mount Rushmore. You know what? You could have though. You could have easily done that. You guys got so much talent coming out of there.
That's what's up.
I might throw Shorty Red like at the bottom. Shorty Red, or Toot might get a little thing at the bottom. Like when you walk up.
Right. Nice. Yeah. Okay, that's what's up, man. Well, that sounds like a great Mount Rushmore right there, man. I love the curveball. All those other guys, I mean, all of them deserve to be up there for sure, man. So thank you for that, man.
No problem.
All right, man. I want you to stay in this imaginative mode, man. I want you to imagine that you just walked out of the perfect studio session and 4 people walked out the doors with you because you guys just made a wonderful album or song or whatever. Those 4 people that walked out were 1 artist, 1 co-producer along with yourself, 1 engineer, and 1 random person. Who are those 4 people going to be?
I'm going to go MIA, me, and my brother Oracle as the producers. Engineer, I'll probably go Jason Joshua. And the extra person is going to be Rihanna, just because I just wanted to see her. Just look at. She ain't got to sing. She ain't got to do nothing. I just want to look.
Nice.
They're all interchangeable. Karuchi, Rihanna. I'm sure I'm missing some other people. They're interchangeable. SZA. Right. Just the vibe.
Wow.
Just want to conversate. Keep the mood.
Right. Okay. I love it, man. I really do love it. Just because you got MIA in there, but the random person Rihanna, if we do keep it Rihanna, or if we say SZA, I mean, they can definitely contribute to the session, right?
Exactly.
I mean, even Karuchi could contribute, but in a totally different way. But
it's work. It's work, nevertheless.
Right, and then
you do a good job.
Then your boy Oracle, man. I mean, can't say enough about that guy. Who is the engineer? What has he done?
Jason Joshua. If I'm correct, he was like a guy that's under Dave Pensado for a while. He mixes a lot of great stuff on the radio. Like most of the great record, I say Dave is like number 1. He might be number 2.
Wow. Okay. That's what's up.
He does a lot of like Rihanna stuff. He's good. He's got a younger sound. Okay. It's really clean, but he's good with 808s.
Nice. Okay, I'm gonna look him up and see what all he has done. All right, man. That's what's up. Okay, man. Well, I want you to name your favorite song that you've ever produced.
Andy Milonakis, Red Lean.
Nice.
It's his name.
Red Lean?
Yeah, Red Lean. I grew up watching Andy Milonakis on MTV, and I thought he was hilarious.
Right.
He was on tour, like, I need beats. I sent him some beats, and he came out with a song. And I just think it's cool. It's stupid. I hate the beat now. It's one of the things like, oh, this is terrible, but I enjoy it because it's fucking crazy. Nice. It's weird. It's, you know what I mean? Right. It's fun. Okay. And I feel like that's what you make music for. It's just to be fun. Rep. Exactly. Okay, I'm gonna check that out too, man. I'm gonna be up on Google all night fucking with you, but that's good though. That's good. Okay, man. What is an album besides one that you worked on that you recommend every producer listen to, and why? Yeah, people from the Unquantized podcast, they know I will fight somebody over Justin Timberlake Justified. I feel like that is the most perfect album. Almost. There's one song I don't really like on there. Outside of that, it's great. Okay. And I feel like it's R&B, it's pop, it's got rap on it. Right. You can't, to me, if you're a producer, you need to hear those kind of things. Right. Nice. Expand your palette, because I don't want to be a trap producer, just a trap producer or R&B producer. I want to do pop. I want to do dance hall. So stuff like that is like, wow. That was the first time I was like, okay, you really can do whatever. Pharrell's out here doing pop and all this stuff from the hood. So yeah, please go check out Justified. Incredible album. Dope, man. Dope. Okay. I'll definitely have a link for the album up on the website. So Beat Grinders, you guys can definitely go check that out under Triza's show notes. So, all right, man. Well, I want you to imagine that you just woke up tomorrow and you lost everything that you had except for your knowledge that you've gained over the years and $1,000. What would you do in the next week to restart your career? When I say everything, I mean all of your contacts. You don't know anybody. All you have are the clothes on your back, your knowledge, $1,000. How you gonna get it going? I'm going and getting an iPhone. I'm spending as much money as that's gonna cost because that opens me back to Instagram. Shoot, Beatmaker too. You can make beats on it. Yep. So I would invest in that, and then I would put the rest Man, I would say probably the rest.
Okay.
And grind too. I would get on Instagram, get on Beatmaker too. That costs what, $10, $15?
Yep.
So I probably got a couple $100 left. I would say that in case rainy day, in case I need something, maybe get some headphones.
Mm-hmm.
And then Instagram, grinding. I'll be networking, get back on my, get my followers up, back at it.
Dope. Beat Grinders, I hope you guys are listening, man. This dude is spreading so many gems on us, man. It doesn't take a lot of money to get into it, man. Like you said, Beatmaker 2 costs little to no money, $10 to $20. Get an iPhone, get it popping. Social media. So, okay, that's what's up, man. Actually, you did talk about networking, and I know that network is your net worth. And man, you've done a great job at that. You've surrounded yourself by some great people. Can you speak upon that just a little bit? Not necessarily maybe how you got in contact with some of these people, and just the importance of the relationships that you've had with some of the influencers that you've been around.
Yeah, I'd say, man, the key to getting around people is adding value to what they got going on. So when I was at DTP, I was interning. I realized that if you were a first-year student at Clark Atlanta, you had to have an internship. DTP needed a bunch of interns. So I said, hey, if I get you 20 interns, will y'all help me out? So I would get people from my class to intern at DTP, because you would rather than intern at DTP than go do some random thing where you scrubbing floors and stuff.
Right.
So I had everybody coming to me for that. So DTP appreciated it. And those same people would look out for me, introduce me to people, and they didn't really know I made beats. I really wasn't pushing myself as a producer. I just did my job, and then it was times where it's like, yo, we need this. And hey, check this out. And nothing really came about it for a while, but people respected that I did it in that order.
Right.
Later on, when I was actually getting better and really, getting to the point where I could actually sell music and stuff, people respected it, and I could take these meetings and go these different places. And the same thing, I worked at a studio for years, man. I slept at the studio, slept on the floor over there, but I networked so hard, and I just was cool with everybody. I tried to add value. I met who was my previous manager, really good friend of mine. He's best friends with Usher. So, through that, I get to kick it with them for a while. So I'm where I'm moving to Miami, going out there. I'm going to LA. I'm with Usher and them. All about adding value. It's all about me looking like, how can I help this situation? What is my goal to make this situation better? And that's what I did. I don't try to push what I got going on. I'm not over here trying to sell Usher on my dream of this is what I'm trying to do. Nah, I'm gonna be cool. If I gotta be the guy in the back, I'll be the guy in the back, do my role, and they respect you for it. And then eventually you will get to a spot where it's time for you to show them what you got. Time for you to shine and do something. But just playing it cool, man. I think that's the biggest thing. Add a value and play it cool.
Awesome, man. That's what's up. Thank you for that, man. Thank you for that. Adding value, providing service, and man, looking at it as a long game. It's not a short term one. Hey, how can I get on my music now? But that's what's up, man. Well, thank you for that, because I know that you're working with Becox, definitely working with Sound Oracle, and you're around some big time people, and man, just wanted to definitely understand how to do that for an introvert like myself, so.
Like with Brian is like one of my mentors. I've known Brian since I moved to Atlanta. He was one of the first big producers I met, and he always would just kind of, but again, it was just me being the young cat in the back, and I would just sit there. And every once in a while, I just ask a question like, how'd you do that? Oh, you need somebody to do this? Okay, I'll do it. Dope. And people notice, you know what I mean? It took a long time for people to notice. I feel like for like 2 years, Brian would like answer questions, but he just didn't know who I was. And then eventually it's like, he's cool. And now I talk to him all the time. I talk to Brian like every 2-3 days, That's
what's up. Yeah. Okay.
Relationships, helping out, and not trying to be in the spotlight, man. I think people, I get DMs all day, man. Yo, put me on. Oh, put your stuff on. You know what I mean?
Right.
Go out and work. Nobody's going to do this for you.
Yep.
And so showing people that you're hungry and you're willing to work and you're cool and you're humble about it, they going to help you, man.
That's what's up, man. I hope you guys are listening, man. He's definitely letting you know how to get your way up there, man, and how to be associated with people. So, all right, well, thank you for that, man. Once again, man. All right, man. Well, what's the greatest piece? Even though you've been given great advice this whole episode, man. I want to know, what's the greatest piece of advice that you got, that you received, that you can share with us today?
And Needles told me this, actually. Needles told me this in 2011. He told me, make sure you promote yourself. And I really didn't understand. And it sounds simple, but I didn't understand it. I don't like being in the camera. As much as I'm like a goofy, wild guy, I hate being on camera. I don't like talking in public. I'm normally very quiet unless you're my friend. But I realized part of being an entertainer is you have to entertain. Right. So you have to kind of step out that comfort zone, and you got to promote yourself. If people don't know you did it, what does it serve? Right. So you have to learn how to do that and learn the business of music. I think people forget that the music business is business first. It really don't matter about. It's sad and it sounds crazy, but the music is like the last little part. Right. It's the politics, all that is like 95%, and then it's the music. I think if you pay attention to those things, you brain yourself, and you're conscious of the business part. Oh, you'll go far. Okay. But that's when everybody messes up. That's when you see people get on, they fall off completely. I haven't had the most amazing career, but I feel like I've constantly kind of just kept working. I've always been around. Right. I didn't have a huge hit and then disappear. I just always been around, been comfortable, doing the same stuff for years. So I think if you treat it like a businessman, promote yourself, man. Put yourself out there. Get uncomfortable. Okay. Nice. You guys, get uncomfortable. I like that. Get uncomfortable. That's the only way that you're going to break out of your shell. So, okay. Well, thank you for that, man. Appreciate that, man. I just about wrapped it up, man. And thank you for this interview. Thank you for granting me your time to do this, man. I learned a lot. I know that the Beat Grinders, they learned a lot, man. So I appreciate it. They appreciate it. Thank you, man, so much. If you have any more words for the listeners, if you want to let us know what you're working on, how we can contact you if you want to be contacted, here's your chance, man. Let us know, please. So, DJing, and I'm producing my own records. So yeah, follow me on Instagram, Triza, on everything, really. So at Triza, it's my bad, I messed up on that. But at Triza, everything, Instagram, SoundCloud, everything. Quantas Podcast every Friday at 4. We're also on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes. It's me and Sound Oracle. We talking shit, drinking Jameson, talking about the business, and just being us, man. That's really what I got on, man. Please feel free to hit me up, man. Everybody, hit me on Instagram. Please don't send me no links of beats and stuff, because I can't really help. But if you got questions about business or something, hey, I'm here. Man, y'all hit them up. If you guys got questions, hit them up. If you have questions, also tune into the podcast. It's the best thing going on Instagram. One of the best podcasts out. They will answer your question no matter what. Man, you've been mentored this week by Triza. Thank you for tuning in, listening. Spread the word, subscribe to Beats Grinding Life, and go listen to Unquantized. Y'all, peace. Have a great week. Keep grinding.
Here at Beats Grinding Life, we want to thank you for listening to another episode. We want to know, what were your biggest takeaways from this interview? Just go to beatsgrindinglife.com and leave a comment on this episode's show notes page. Also, while you are there, go subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. Just click the little button that says subscribe. If you could, please leave a rating and review. Rating and reviews are the best way to show your appreciation, because it helps more people find out about the podcast. So until next week's episode, keep grinding.